What's in your mind for you and for I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, yeah. I mean besides, but your feelings inside you.
Wow, episode 32. We are live inside the RV. Everyone, thank you for listening. Shout out to all the insiders. This is Inside the RV, a podcast about entrepreneurship, work ethic, self-development, and becoming the best version of yourself. You're joined by your two lovely, bearded, somewhat freshly shaven, but still looking good hosts. I'm one of them. My name's Jacob Moore.
I'm the other one, Ryan Ramirez.
Jacob Moore and Ryan Ramirez. Together, we are an artist and artist-manager duo trying to come up in the music industry, build our own path, be successful. We're independent. And on Inside the RV, we chronicle our come-up, and we also just share things that we're learning in real time. So all the shit that you guys hear from us while we drink White Claws and Coronas and we have a good time up here, you guys are listening to our stories and the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything we think about our come-up. Here's something I was actually thinking about. It's really, really easy to get discouraged when you're on an entrepreneurial journey. Oh, God, you're going to compare yourself to all these people on social media. You're going to ask yourself, oh, is it worth it? Am I good enough? You know, we hear it all the time, right? There's so much stuff that comes along with it that's kind of like mentally, emotionally debilitating. Even physically, there's a lot of people who are embarking on an entrepreneurial journey where there's a lot of physical work in it. We're a good mixture of it. Like if there's a show or something that's physical, we did a school tour, we did the run of that was physical. But you know, now with COVID and everything, we're doing tons of digital stuff, which is cool. We're fortunate to kind of have both of those. But an important thing is this: no matter where you're at in your journey, and like I said, the premise of this podcast, if you haven't listened to it, is me and Ryan are telling you this as we learn it. We're like, what I'm about to tell you guys is some stuff that I've learned throughout my journey. I'm only 24 years old. I got tons more to learn. We're barely scratching the surface on our careers right now.
And I feel like the way we think could change too over time. Like this is just a documentation of right now.
Exactly.
So it's like the next kid, you know, who sees the story can be like, oh, well, in this phase, he thought like this. I could skip a few steps because 500 episodes later, he realized this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just documentation of what we're going through.
Exactly. And one thing that I have, thought about and that I'm realizing is that you got to take pride in your work. Be proud of yourself. You're going to have people I fucking hate people on social media who are like, okay, there's a difference between being cocky and being confident. You taking pride in your work and being proud of the person that you're becoming, being hyped on what you're doing is so much different than being egotistical and being cocky, right? There's one guy who does something and because of that, he thinks he's better than other people. There's another guy who embarks on his entrepreneurial journey and the only person he thinks he's better than is his previous self. Okay. You want to strive to be that type of person. Stop comparing yourself to other people. It's only going to lead you to this road and this pitfall of constantly thinking you're not good enough, because there's always going to be someone better than you. And even if you're in one realm and you become the GOAT of your realm, guess what? There's a million other realms where you're starting at square one.
Yeah.
But what I gotta say is that be confident in what you do. Take pride in the fact that you work hard. The best, I can't stand, bro. I see like on TikTok and shit, people want to act like I've never worked like a minimum wage job or something or whatever. I've totally worked a minimum wage job. I worked at a gym for almost 5 years on campus, and I worked internships and shit like that. And it's like, dude, I see people on TikTok. I saw this post. I can't believe I'm getting fired up over TikTok. But this person was like, oh, yeah, I only get paid minimum wage at my job working at Starbucks or whatever. Like, fuck this. Why should I even try hard at all? Because I've said this before. The reason that person should try hard is because your work ethic is transferable. I've said this in a previous episode. It's nothing new, but for some reason, I still have to reiterate it because I see people constantly saying, why should I take pride in my work? Why should I even work hard if I'm only making X amount of dollars? Oh, my boss is a dick, whatever. You should work hard and take pride in your work because that work ethic is going to transfer. I don't want to hear it. I've experienced it myself with other people. I don't want to fucking hear it from people. If you are working horribly in one job and you don't care about it at all, and you're just saying, oh, when I get that one job I really like, then I'll start working hard, is bullshit. You're going to have the same mentality that you do in the job right now because you've convinced yourself that your hard work isn't important. It's not worth taking pride in. That is so ass backwards and such bullshit. You need to clear your mind out of that. I don't care if you're mowing lawns. I don't care if you're cleaning your room. I don't care if you're working a minimum wage job making fraps for people. Take pride in it. Okay? If your boss is a dick, and I've had bosses who are fucking dicks, if your boss is a dick, fuck them. You're not working for them. You're working for yourself so you can better yourself. Okay? So just remember that every action you take in your work is to help yourself. So if you're in it and you're telling yourself that it doesn't matter how hard I work, you're only selling yourself short. You're not screwing over your boss. You're not giving them the bird by doing that. You're only screwing yourself over. So take pride in what you do.
And take pride in the details, because I feel like every little thing that you do in your day is a reflection of your character.
Yes.
So if you take a piss and you don't wipe off the toilet seat after your droplets got on it, that's a fucking reflection on yourself. And I learned that through like Andy Frisella's podcast, because that's just true, bro. Like all those little things you get lazy about, like that exactly what you just said. The work ethic is transferable. Everything's transferable. Your character is a reflection of all the things you do during your day and the way you think about those little things. So I think a lot of times people don't really, even like in music or in people's work, like they don't really take pride in what you said, like in the details. All those little things matter. Like when I make a song, I'm anal about every little thing in the song.
Anal.
Exactly. I'm like crazy about every little thing in the song because I want it to all like hit. You know what I'm saying? But there is a line between like perfectionism and like trying to overdo it and shit. You gotta learn how to let go, but still try to get it to like the best you can make it. You know what I'm saying? There's like a line that you got to try to get to, but yeah, taking pride in the details I think is very overlooked, and people just want to do things fast and quick, which is I think that's good too. But sometimes you want to take a step back and like finish things fully before you like try to rush them. I don't know how to explain it.
I just think that it feels good. It feels so good to take your boots off at the end of the day, or your shoes or your hat or whatever from your job. Or God, we used to have to wear these like polos at one of my jobs, and every time I would take it off, I would be like, God, thank God I'm not wearing this polo anymore. But at the end of the day, even when it was work I didn't want to do, and there were days where I was like, fuck, I do not want to do this, dude. Those days when I still told myself, hey, be proud of the work that you're doing, own it, okay, own all of your decisions that you make, be a leader, be a boss, have confidence, and be happy about the work that you're doing. Those days where I would clock out, I would feel so good and so fulfilled. My dad owned a car shop for almost 15 years, and I never worked on cars, but, you know, I swept floors and I organized a lot of stuff, and we had tons of random shit there from, you know, that like had been sitting there, and I helped my dad like wash fire trucks and wash cars and do all this stuff like with my hands and stuff. And there were times where I was like, I don't want to fucking do this. Like, why don't I just half-ass this, whatever? But those days where I told myself like, no, dude, even if reorganizing this storage bin at my dad's, you know, mechanic shop or whatever, even if that isn't gonna like make a huge difference in my life, I can derive fulfillment from that. So if all it takes for you to have a great day is telling yourself, hey, take pride in your work and enjoy it, if that's all it takes to have a good day, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
All it is a simple mindset shift. Dude, like, I get it. I've worked in offices. I've worked in stuff where I'm using my hands a little bit more. Like, I get it. There's always going to be the joke at the water cooler, like, how's it going? It's going. Yeah, it's going. I've said that shit a million times. Like, it's funny. Like, I get it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, it's a joke. You know, don't ever walk into work and just be like, it's going. Here we are, man. All right, I got to do this. Make the most of it, dude. All it takes to have a good day is a shift in your mindset. And I've had some shitty ass days. All you got to do to make things great and to make yourself feel good is just shift how you're perceiving things. So do it.
And we're creatures of habit. So it's like you're always forming every day you're forming a habit of some sort, whether that's good or bad. So if you have bad thoughts like that, like, oh, just another day, I'm just looking at what gets a Friday, like you're building that habit in yourself. Yeah. And now you start to think like that. That's like who you become. So it's like, even like with what you said, like the storage bin, like if I half-ass this, just that one time, like you started to build a new habit. Because the next time, if you do that again, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you're always building a new habit every time you do something. So it's like, but the good news, if you look at it this way, is that you're in complete control of your habits. And you can use that to your advantage and use Uncle G.
Uncle G.
I mean, not Uncle G.
Uncle Mo?
Uncle Mo.
Uncle G is Grant Cardone,
yeah,
baby.
Him too.
Yeah.
No, Uncle Mo to your advantage. Momentum. Because that momentum with your good habits is going to like really propel you to places that you never thought you could go. I don't know.
And if you disagree, if you don't think that you should take pride in your work and be proud of your ability to achieve things, turn the fucking show off, dude. Don't fucking listen to me then. Turn this show off, because we're here to give advice to people based on our process of continually learning and changing and developing. And we said we're not perfect.
Yeah.
But one thing I can tell you for sure, even though I'm still very young, is I'm pretty damn certain that taking pride in the work that you do, no matter what it is a good trait.
Yeah.
And if you disagree, and if I can't convince you otherwise, just turn the show off and leave it to the people who actually, leave the show to the people who actually want to continue their self-development and becoming a better person. And the reason I'm being such a fucking dickhead about this is because I have felt like shit before. Okay? I went through college, I had the mental breakdowns, I worked different jobs, I wanted to quit them all at some point. Like I've done, a pretty average thing. Like most people, a lot of people, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of people go to college, they have their quarter life crisis, all that stuff or whatever. I've been through it. So I'm just telling you guys from experience, the best thing that you can do for yourself if you hate your job or if you're not feeling it or you feel monotonous or you're on the hamster wheel is just start giving yourself that extra push and give yourself that boost of confidence by simply shifting your mind. That's all it is. That sounded so spiritual. Shift your mind, bro.
I like spiritual.
But it's totally true. It's like, and all these people are going to say, well, it's easier said than done to all the insiders right now listening. You're always going to have that dickhead who's like, oh, easier said than done, bro. And of course, like,
well, then you're stuck in your mindset forever, and you'll never get out of it because you never made that choice within yourself to make a change.
They didn't have the discipline to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. The first step towards creating your own discipline is by shifting your mind. Shift your mindset so that it allows you to perform in the way that's going to propel you forward in whatever realm you're trying to move forward in. Okay. What that takes is discipline. And there's hustle culture on social media and all these dudes who are like, if your friends aren't discussing leaving the 9 to 5, blah, blah, blah. There are people that totally take that way overboard and extreme. Is this recording? Are you good? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. There's people that take it super, super extreme and stuff like that, and I respect that, but I just want to let all the people know who see those types of things, like, it doesn't have to be that hardcore. You can start your self-development, you can start your quote-unquote hustle, all your stuff, by just trying to become a more disciplined person. Maybe tomorrow, instead of eating out because you want to be more financially literate and save money, maybe tomorrow, you know what? You skip that Starbucks in the morning that you usually do. I'm not saying everybody has to do that. That's just one example. But it's like, hey, that's one step forward towards being better in what you want to do. And all it was you in your mind saying, hey, I'm gonna explicitly make this decision to become better. That's all it is.
Those small decisions,
that's all it is.
But every day, like consistently, because you're forming those habits, like I said earlier. So it's like, you don't have to look at the tall mountain and be like, damn, like, how will I ever do that? It's like, nah, focus on today. Like, what small thing today can I do to shift my mind 5% or 10% or whatever, and the next day do the same thing and make that a consistent habit. And then before you know it, you're automatically doing that shit. And you become that. So it's like, it becomes easy. You don't have to try anymore. But also, too, like, if you're on an entrepreneurial journey or any journey that you're trying to be successful at, like, you got to take pride in the fact that you didn't give up. Yeah. Because that is a huge thing you should take pride in. And that should actually build your confidence, because we all know how hard this shit is to, find success in yourself in, like, whatever you're doing. It's like, it's tough, man. Like, it really takes a lot of mental toughness. And it's not easy, and the majority of the population of the world will not do it. So you got to take pride in the fact that you're still going, and that you're interested in podcasts like this, or like other podcasts that are, successful mindset podcasts, or, you got to take pride in the fact that you're still going, man, because no one does that shit. It's rare.
Even on days where you feel like you're operating at zero, like I think I said it in the couple last podcasts, like the last couple months for Ryan and I, like with his career and my career, have been shitty, dude. Like, we feel like we were kind of running on a hamster wheel, and there was just a lot of bullshit. Like, I don't think you and I both felt really good at all. And shout out, you're my fucking boy, because we expressed that to each other and shit. We just screwed up the DAP. Ryan and I always joke.
I was going for the thing, but you did
I was going for this one. I was going for this one. See,
Okay.
me and Ryan are those like white guys at the party when someone tries to dap us up. I'm like, hey, my brother, was good. And we like screw it up and I like grab them and make them like knuckle touch and stuff. That's us. we're trying to get better at
And
it.
they go like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like you give them knuckles, they just go.
Yeah. We screw up the dap every time. God damn. Yeah, we fucked that shit up. Anywho, so I think part of this realization of the fact that you need to take pride in your work is also patience, right? Like I said, like Ryan and I were operating at a really low level. Like we felt like we were just idling, you know, in a car when your foot's off the brake and it's just kind of moving, not really accelerating. Like me and Ryan felt like that. And I'm glad to say, you know, we're kind of on the upswing now, which is good. We got a lot of things in store. We've been executing a lot. But when you're in that idling position and you're just kind of flying by, first off, I think that you need to be conscious of when you are being successful. Like take pride in the little wins. Like if you've been screwing up and you're trying to get up earlier and you know you've been snoozing your alarm, whatever, if there was one day where you got up and you were like, hey, I actually did that this morning, give yourself a little pat on the back. You know, don't over celebrate the win, but just give yourself that thumbs up, look in the mirror, smile, and keep going.
Yeah.
That's it. Just keep going. And that is going to compound, and I promise that will snowball, dude. Like, I don't think, okay, we've said in previous podcasts, and I think you asserted this, you don't deserve a pat on the back or whatever for doing what you were supposed to do. It's true. I don't think, like, if you know, are supposed to do something and you do that, you don't deserve a big hug and a big pat on the back. Yeah, good job. But you should give yourself a thumbs up.
If it was a problem for you, though, and you got out of that hole, then that's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
You know?
Just, it's okay to give yourself a thumbs up and say, hey, I'm killing it, dope, and just keep going. But you don't got to be like, oh, I woke up early this morning, I'm going to sleep in the next 7 days, you know, or whatever.
Celebrate and shit.
Okay, so anywho, so part of this, I think, and we've talked about this before, this is just like a reiteration of like everything we've talked about because there's so much to dive into just on the topics of discipline and personal development and patience and all these things. But patience is so important because while Ryan and I were idling by, in the back of my mind, when we were having those small wins, even when things were shitty, those little small wins, I was telling myself, hey, Jacob, this is just a temporary period. You and Ryan are going to get out of this hole. Even though things seem like shit, when you accomplish something, give yourself a pat on the back and keep going. And I kept doing that, and I was patient over the last couple months. And guess what happened? Me and Ryan launched a new advertising thing that started to work really well. Ryan's connecting with fans much better. We're in the midst of coming up with a scheme for this big release he has. You know, we're working with other people. There are things going on. So it's like it just took a little bit of patience and a little bit of, you know, hard-headedness and belief, and we came out of it. And now we're on the slow little upswing. But dude, that's part of it. Like, this isn't the first time me and Ryan have had a shitty couple months. It's gonna happen, dude. So you just gotta keep your head down, keep mobbing, keep working hard, pat yourself on the back when you accomplish something. Don't dwell too hard on the losses, and just keep moving forward, dude. Just be patient. That's all it is. I've already accepted the fact that it may be a pretty damn good couple years before you and I are like way at the level we want to be.
Yeah.
I'm 24 now, you're 23. Shit, dude, we might be doing the big shit when we're 31, 32, 33.
maybe.
Who knows? Hopefully way before that, you know, because every music artist and manager has it in their head like, no, we're gonna pop this year, you know. But
I think the key term though is aggressive patience, because it is good to have patience, absolutely. Yeah. But don't be patient to the fact where like I'm gonna sit around and just wait for something, like wait for an opportunity, you know, because I think a lot of people do that. Like they understand patience, but they're not aggressively making moves every day, like as they're patient. I'm not saying you have to be like some crazy fucking dude like making crazy moves every single day, all day, every day, stay up till 3 a.m, wake up at 5 a.m.
But if
like,
you can do
shit.
that,
if you can, do it. But I'm just saying, like, make moves as you're being patient. Like, you still got to put in work. You can't just sit around and wait for shit. Like, because nothing's gonna come to you. Like, nothing's owed to you. You got to earn that shit. So
that is such a good term. Where'd you hear that?
Andy Frisella.
Andy Frisella. Hey.
Aggressive
Shout out
patience.
Andy Frisella, aggressive patience. That's so true. And that is the perfect term for kind of what I'm describing is like keep going, but be patient. Understand that patience is a part of your journey, but keep going and keep making moves and don't let yourself succumb to the excuses that you're going to see on social media or that people want to tell you, oh, because of, your income level, you can't do this. Because of your skin color, you can't do this. Because you do this, you cannot do this. Dude, I'm telling you guys, I love social media to death because we're building Ryan's career on social media, and people in 2021 have so many more opportunities than like anyone else. Like it's amazing, but fuck people on social media. There are so many people like fuck them, dude.
I think it's mostly Twitter.
Why is Twitter?
Twitter's like a high school to me.
Dude,
I feel like Twitter is like a high school, and like the coolest people like get all the retweets and shit by saying the wittiest like negative shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like a big high school to me.
I just feel like it's mostly a bunch of dumb bitches who are like 20 with colored hair and shit. They get on there and say some shit and start a big storm and try to cancel people and stuff. It's just dumb.
Yeah,
It's just
crazy.
so stupid, bro.
I mean, I don't know if that's just like based off the people I follow and who they follow type shit, and there's like a whole nother world of Twitter that's different, but that's kind of what I've experienced with it. I don't know.
I've experienced a lot of negativity on Twitter too.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. Not directly towards me, because it's like, I only got a couple hundred followers or whatever.
Yeah.
But I've just seen like discussions. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. What's
Yeah,
going on here?
people like tear people's heads off on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Cancel culture. What the fuck is cancel culture, bro? No, but yeah, but it will pay you back to be proud of what you do. Here's another thing too. When you take pride in what you do, there's so many things that build your confidence. Just listen to all the other episodes we've talked about. But taking pride in what you do, once again, is going to be a confidence booster, dude. There's so many things that you can do, keeping those promises to yourself, taking pride in what you do, all of that. It's going to boost your confidence. So let's say that I'm working my job at the gym when I'm in college, right? I have this job I could do, like moving all this stuff on these basketball courts at this gym I work at, right? I could do it and half-ass it and not really care or whatever. But when my boss comes up to me and says, hey, man, how's it going? Like, how are things doing? I could not have confidence. I could not take pride in the work I could do. I could be like, yeah, it's going good, whatever. Now my feeling of feeling like shit rubs onto him, right?
Yeah.
Because people can pick that shit up. Now, what if I was like, you know what? I'm working a minimum wage job at a gym, not getting tons of hours, and the work that I do occasionally kind of sucks, and what the job I have to do right now is going to suck. Despite all that, if I go into that with the mindset of like, yo, I'm going to kill this dude. When my boss walks up to me and asks me how everything's going, my confidence will be outwardly expressed. And my boss, she'll pick that up and be like, yo, that's what's up, dude. And then that will rub off on my boss. And now she'll kind of get a little confidence boost too. So now I just influenced her.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And I think like you're always planting seeds you don't know about. Like I always think about that too. You're always planting some sort of seed that you're not aware about. So even like, okay, like even if I make a post on Instagram, but it got 50 likes or something, and I was like, this shit was fire. Bro, there could have been one person that saw that shit that kept that in mind, was like, oh, like he's dope at this. And let's say they hit me up for an opportunity because of that one post, etc. There's always something you don't know about behind the scenes. So even what you said with your boss, like your boss could have been like, because this happened to me, like your boss could have been like, damn, like Jacob's always positive, like just holds a good energy and just always does good work. And then they tell other people, and then those other people may have an opportunity for you that they wouldn't have given to someone else who had a shitty attitude in the workplace. But you didn't know about that because they didn't tell you, but they talked about it on the side. Yeah. So it's like you're always planting some kind of seed that you don't like know about. And I think that's like a very special thing to like keep in mind. So, and the good news is you can pretty much control those seeds based off of like your attitude and like the work that you do and your character. So, I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, bro. Hey, you could be out here planting a forest, baby.
Yeah.
You could be growing your own watermelons and you don't even know it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know. No, that's entirely true though, bro. And it just pays to be proud. Be a proud person. Like walk around with your chest out, your head held high. Be confident. Of course, like, you know, have some humility. Like, don't be a dick. That's not what we're saying. But what I'm saying is it pays to take pride in the work that you do, man. And I'll tell you from personal experience, it just feels good. It feels good to lay your head down at the end of the day and say, hey, I killed it. Here's another thing. To piggyback off of what Ryan just said about me, like influencing my boss, or that one person was so influenced by Ryan's one post on social media. You're not going to change the world millions of people at a time. You're going to change the world one individual at a time.
That's dope. I like that.
It's true. It's true. It's going to be individuals who read your post. It's going to be individuals who see the work that you're doing, and they're going to change how they act, and that is going to result in changing the world. Okay? So even if you make that one post or whatever, and one person was so impacted, job well done.
Mm-hmm.
Job well done. We're not out here. You can't change the world millions of people at a time. But hey, every day if you can get like one person to change their mindset or whatever, you can rub off on them. That's dope. That's dope, and that's how the world changes. So
that's super dope. And one fan at a time.
One
if
fan
you're an
at
artist,
a time, bro. That's something that Ryan and I are realizing too. Is like we're gaining fans one fan at a time. I think I said this in the Benzer podcast. Go listen to our podcast with the music artist Benzer. He's super dope. That he said a lot of good shit on that podcast. I forget the episode, but we were talking about social media. Excuse me. And I said that I read in my copywriting book, that people read your Instagram post one person at a time. People are impacted one person at a time. So when you go and post on social media, you may be like, hey, what's up, guys? Whatever. But it's one person at a time that's going to be impacted by that. So if you're a person that takes pride in your work, you're very proud, you're very confident, you're going to rub off on individuals, right? If there's a group of 5 people, you got to forget, you can't forget that you're impacting them one person at a time. And that's a very special thing. So if you take pride in your work and you're that guy or girl that's always upbeat and you're very confident, individual people may change their lives based on that. That's a fucking cool thing, dude.
See, and I feel like the whole thing with confidence, bro, I feel like the biggest problem though is that people feel guilty for being confident because they're told wrong what the term humble means. Because I feel like when people hear the word humble, like be humble, they think, oh, I got to be shy and meek and like timid and like not out there and just like reserved, you know what I'm saying? But that's not really what humble means. Like humble means that you're willing to tell yourself like, I don't know shit. You're willing to tell yourself, you're willing to let yourself grow and know and just keep continuously learning. So you can be confident but still be humble at the same time. And I think a lot of people like they get confused with all that shit because they think like when they think confident person, sometimes like their mind goes to like some douchebag that they think about, and it's like, but that person was just cocky in the fact that he thinks he's better than other people and that he knows everything and whatever. So if you just have pride and are confident in what you do, you could still be humble at the same time. And to me, that's like the ultimate fucking like inspiration right there, because now you're like radiating like confidence in a positive way, and it's like contagious,
Totally, bro. You just nailed it.
Sweet.
I don't really got much else to say. I'm ready to drop this mic on the floor, baby.
For sure.
Yeah. Good stuff, brother.
All right, man.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of good shit coming out. Ryan's got some really great songs coming out. Man, if you haven't listened to DYD, Ryan's newest release, please go take a listen. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to go on Instagram and follow at JACXB Moore, MOORE, at Ryan Ramirez Official. And I want you to go on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you consume music. Listen to Ryan's music. If we provided some value in this podcast, please, that's the least you could do. Go listen to Ryan's music, bump it, tell a friend. We got a lot of really exciting stuff planned. Like I said, Ryan and I just got over this crazy hump that we were in, and I feel really, really good about our careers now. So if you want to be a part of our journey, I urge you to. And keep up with us on Instagram because that's the basis of everything. So,
and we want this to be a community too. So, like, if you have a topic you want us to talk about, or you want to know something, or like you feel like you can give us feedback on certain things, like just always DM us too.
Absolutely.
Like we literally DM everybody back. Like, like who are we to not DM someone back? So
Yeah, bro. Thank you, Insiders. Episode 32. All right. Peace out.
For you and for I'm trying to decide from the look in your eyes, I mean besides, but your feelings inside you. I'm pressing on my mind and my spirit.